What's going on YouTube? Back for another video, and today I'm talking about why boredom is good for creativity. And one of the primary reasons why it's good for creativity is that it gives you the time and space to think about things in a more abstract way. And in doing that, ideas are easier to come up with because you're not distracted by other things. And it also makes it easier to engage with other ideas. And boredom also makes you curious and novelty seeking, which makes it easier to start exploring new ideas and things. And another thing to add on to that would be boredom also makes it easier for you to sort of make your own entertainment. So it makes content creation easier for blogs and videos. And even when you're consuming content, you can be creative. You can create an analysis of a video game, TV show, or movie. And I think a good example of creativity comes from a game development perspective. So think about Nintendo, how they changed the design of an existing IP that they have. An example of creativity in game design would be Mario Kart. Nintendo is really good at changing each new iteration of Mario Kart, and they basically add a new gimmick with each game. So Mario Kart 64, for example, first 3D Mario game. Super Circuit was the first portable Mario Kart with similarities to Super Mario Kart, and also had all the tracks from the game. Mario Kart Double Dash had 2 drivers in one kart, and then each character had a special item. Mario Kart Wii had motion controls. Mario Kart DS had a mission mode too. And one thing that is interesting about creativity is they're typically creative ideas are often rejected by people who are risk averse, like business executives, mainly because they don't like unpredictability. And one thing that comes to mind for me is Squid Game. Squid Game was rejected for a long time because it was too unpredictable for, people in Hollywood. They didn't really like it. They didn't know how it'd be received or whatever. So, it took a long time for Netflix to pick it up and, eventually decide to fund the creation of the TV show. And then Squid Game became one of the most popular TV shows, Netflix has ever made, and brought Korean dramas into a worldwide audience. And something that's interesting about Squid Game too is it also brings different things to the battle royale genre, because it puts a twist on it that wasn't previously seen. So you have all the contestants competing by playing children's games, unlike a traditional battle royale like the Hunger Games, which has more in common with Fortnite and Apex or whatever. It's people are just doing the traditional fight to survive type of stuff. And then Squid Game also has a mix of team and single player games, which adds more to chaos and unpredictability that keeps people watching as well. And then I would say reaction videos can also be creative because you're thinking on your feet and you're relating to the content in some way. And then you can do reaction videos to articles, videos, and other content. That's all I can think of for this video. I went through my notes too fast, but anyway, have a good one.